Yeah. Keeping with the WWE theme. Keeping that going. McChicken Man. Alright. So, for this one, I came across this YouTuber, Christian Maracle. Interesting stuff. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description. It's a really good channel. So, stumbled across one of his videos, and it seemed like he was kind of like CinemaSins, but for wrestling events. He would send like wrestling events. I was like, you know what? Now that I've been acknowledged by the WWE, I'm like, all right, I'll go check that out. And I actually went to the latest WrestleMania. I was actually there in person, so I'm like, hey, I was there. I saw the event. I think I would be a good person to speak on what happened with the event and like what's sinful and whatnot. So I checked out his video, and I had mixed feelings on it at first, because I was like, some stuff I was like, yeah, he's got points, and some other stuff I was like, I kind of respect wrestlers. I have a respect for them because they go and put on these shows and they really put their bodies at risk, you know? One guy literally did get injured at the event and had to be carried out on a stretcher and whatnot. So, like, you know, they do dangerous stuff, they put themselves at risk for our entertainment, so I kind of have a respect for that. So, you know, if somebody comes out and is like, I don't like this, I'm like, come on, they're working it hard, man, they're taking the risks for us, let's show them some respect. But, then I watched some other videos of his, and I was like, oh, guy's actually a pretty genuine dude. He's a cool guy. He's a cool guy. Yeah, he has another series on his channel talking about struggles with depression and whatnot. And I just had to say, like, yeah, no, this is a cool, down to earth guy. He's a cool guy. Give him a link in the description. Check him out. And he even responded to a comment I left on one of his videos telling him about this video. So like, hey, if you're watching this, man, keep up the good work. Big inspiration. And this video, it's all in good fun. It's all in good stuff. You're a good guy. Keep up the good work. Hey, Chicken Man. Alright. Let's look at his video.
Two-night format. A lot of the others suffered from, oh shit, we fired so much talent, hire as many celebrities as possible, which in turn made WrestleMania break records here on most celebrity matches. Also.
Alright, so starting off, he says it breaks records with the amount of celebrities and whatnot. Well, there's only 2 celebrities in matches, so even then, like, yeah, maybe it's breaking records, but it's still not all that much. Don't think there's like 50 celebrities or whatnot. There were 2 celebrity matches. And I'd argue that the celebrity matches were handled very well, and I don't have a problem with it. I think the Johnny Knoxville match was fantastic, one of the best of the entire events. And Logan Paul, yeah, Logan Paul is one of the guys in the matches. He played just the perfect villain, so I think it was handled perfectly well. No problem with it.
There are literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 WrestleMania logos in this shot, and one of them is made up entirely of CGI. 4 logos of WrestleMania wasn't good enough, so we had to add in a 5th one? Also,
I'll give you this, they went a little overboard with some of the logos, but I mean, like the whole event, can't enjoy the event because there's too many logos. Little extreme.
Also previously on WWE,
the previous stuff, I think it actually helps out a little bit. It does drag it out a little bit. You can tell they're doing it to drag the event on a little bit longer. But I went to this event with my dad, and he hasn't been keeping up with wrestling as much as I have. So he was a little confused on some stuff, and the previously stuff kind of caught him up on everything, and he was like, okay, I get everything now, and now I can watch a match and say, like, okay, this is cool, I'm invested, I enjoy it. So, I think it actually helped out a little bit.
Shinsuke Nakamura is mostly making noises and not doing much of any damage to Jimmy Uso here. Awkward.
So you understand, like, it's fake, it's an act. So when he's doing the leg move in the corner, he's not actually trying to hurt the guy. It's for show. Would it have been better if he was actually just stomping on his opponent's head? It's like, I mean, would have looked more real, but I think the match would last about 2 seconds, because the guy would just be concussed and unconscious in the corner, because the other guy just stomped on his head.
I send all my well wishes that Rick Boots recovers quick from the quadriceps tear, but I also hope that when he comes back, he does less and less of showing off the power game like that, because I feel so bad that this injury caused a quick change of pace in the match.
Yeah, with stuff like this, where I was like, he sent it because a guy literally got injured for real and had to be carried out on a stretcher, so like the match itself had to get rushed through and finished off in a weird way. And yeah, it did seem a little weird when you watched it in person. You were like, all of a sudden, okay, now it's just over out of nowhere, kind of. But like I said, the reason for that was somebody actually got injured for real, and I don't think that you should, send the show for that, give that a flaw to the show, because some guy actually, put so much effort into the work that he actually ended up injuring himself. So, don't think that's a sin. Think it's actually, respect.
Physical specimen. Drew barely moved Happy Corbin any further than a single step toward the barricade. I'm not sure if that was supposed to hurt Happy as much as we think. What you got? Happy Corbin trashes Drew McIntyre by yelling, "What you got?" then proceeded to give him instructions on what to do next. Big change of heart all of a sudden?
Alright, so these two back-to-back here, kind of what I was saying before. You don't want to injure the guy. You don't actually want to injure the guy. So yeah, he didn't actually slam him really hard into the barricade because he wasn't trying to injure him. And as for the guy whispering something, as for Corbin whispering something to McIntyre, for one, I couldn't even see that happen in the footage. I don't know how you're even seeing that, man. You must have been like really binoculars into that stuff to see that. But once again, it's like, dude, the previous match, right before this match, some guy literally got injured. So maybe let's make sure we're telling each other, hey, this is what's going to happen. Hey, this is next. Make sure we're not injuring each other. So, they're just doing their job there. I don't think there's anything wrong.
Whenever it's Rey Mysterio, it's a tribute to Eddie Guerrero. But when it's a heel opponent, it's a sign of disrespect to Eddie Guerrero. Y'all never know. Logan Paul probably could have been an Eddie fan growing up as well. I'll honestly remove a sin because he executed the Three Amigos perfectly. The dude clearly cares. Honestly, WWE's best decision was to have Logan Paul portray a heel because he can clearly absorb the hatred with that wicked smile on his face. This never would have worked if he was playing the good guy in the match.
So yeah. I feel mixed on these two sins, because I'm like, I'm glad in both cases, like, you removed sins for cool stuff. You seemed confused on the first one, like, hey, how come this time it's disrespectful when usually it's an homage? Well, that's obviously because Rey Mysterio was Eddie Guerrero's best friend, so, when he does the moves, it's out of respect, it's homage to him. Usually after he does it, he, like, does a kiss up to the sky, and stuff like that. It's paying homage to him. But then Logan Paul is an arrogant asshole who, already kind of has a history of disrespecting people who have passed away. Just saying. So, when he does it, it's a sign of disrespect, and he's just being a dick. But I agree, like, you should take sense off for he played the bad guy role just so perfect. Yeah. It's kind of how I felt like the whole video. I'm like, I'm kind of like, I mean, this guy might be making a little mistake here, and then he's like, and then he makes a good point, and I'm like, dang, this guy's kind of right.
Nice callback to SummerSlam, I'll give him that. But come on, did you actually think we were going to fall for Bianca losing to Becky that quickly again? Also,
well, you pointed out it's an homage to SummerSlam, but I don't think the point of that was to show like, oh wow, you thought she was gonna get pinned again and then she didn't. I think the point of that was like, it was character growth, you know? It was like, hey, last time this happened, she got pinned 1, 2, 3. Now it happens and she kicks out, so it's like she's stronger this time, she can do it, and then, spoiler alert, she ends up winning the match. So, you know, it's character growth. It's like, okay, she's overcome what defeated her before, and now she's able to conquer herself. So, you know, storytelling.
90 seconds of waiting around.
90 seconds of waiting around. Boy, you know that was like the best part, man. Get out of here. It was a build-up to the mystery opponent. You didn't know who it was gonna be, and it ended up being a returning Cody Rhodes as the American Nightmare now. Huge deal, man. You know that was the best part. If he just came out and they didn't build it up, it would have felt weird and whatnot. People would probably still be cheering, but they would have been like, whoa, what? Okay, yeah, cool. But instead, they built it up. They're like, who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Suspense, 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 and then BAM! It's him! And that was seriously like the biggest pop of the entire event. I'll say it's second to Stone Cold, but you can't compete with Stone Cold. But yeah, second biggest pop of the entire event. So yeah, I think this is handled perfect, and it was awesome, man. And you know it was awesome.
I'm either going home with your arm, or you're gonna tap out.
Isn't that practically the same thing? I'm either going home with your arm or you're going to tap out. No disrespect, but Ronda Rousey could definitely use a manager like Paul Heyman to speak on your behalf, because that was terrible.
I think he kind of misunderstood what she said here. I think what you took away from this was she was saying, like, I'm gonna injure your arm or you're gonna tap out, and you're like, that's pretty much the same thing. Like, doesn't your arm have to be hurt for you to tap out? Which, yeah, if she was saying that, yeah, that would be a weird statement. But what she's saying is, I'm going home with your arm, so she's saying, like, I'm going to rip your arm off, or you're going to tap out. So it actually does make sense. It's basically saying, you're going to tap out, or I'm just going to rip your arm clean off, and go home with it, so it's your choice. I don't think it was that bad of a line. Maybe she could have made it a little more clear by straight up saying, like, I'm going to rip your arm off or something, instead of I'm going to go home with your arm. But still, I think it was a perfectly fine line.
Oh my god! I gotta take off another 5 cents because Steve Austin deserves all the praise for willing to take a suplex on fucking concrete at his current age. And the fact that he walked away without any serious injury to his neck, at least I hope, shows how dedicated he still is after nearly 20 years of not wrestling.
100%. I don't have any problem with that. I think that was just 100% correct, and I'm like, damn straight, man. That was awesome. Yeah, take the sins off. You dropped this. This one's for you on that one. That one was great. Keep up. Good work.
Alright, at first I was confused on why there were no opening pyrotechnics in this night and was about to write an entire waste of time rant about it, but then Triple H's music suddenly hit and I no longer cared about anything else. You can't say that WWE doesn't surprise us because that's a lie.
I don't have a problem with this sin. It's just, I just thought it was funny because that's literally how I felt like right before. I was like, this guy's kind of making mistakes. I'm going to go on a whole rant about it. And then he took sins off for Steve Austin taking that bop and being awesome. And I'm like, you know what? Nothing matters. Take it off. Hand him the belt. Doesn't matter anymore.
Chad Gable is telling both Riddle and Montez Ford to shoosh, despite the fact that neither man is talking. What is there to shoosh for if they're not saying anything?
Well, that's kind of his thing. He just said his catchphrase. That's just his thing. He says the catchphrase.
By saying that, Corey Graves just jinxed Omos's momentum as Bobby Lashley not only beat Omos, but made it look like the easiest thing in the world, which in turn makes us wonder why anyone else didn't try that.
Well, yes, Bobby Lashley defeated Omos. I would argue he didn't make it look like the easiest thing in the world. I mean, it was still like back and forth, and Bobby Lashley, yeah, does eventually beat him, but that's because he's Bobby Lashley. He's a big deal, man. He's cool. Wasn't easy. It took a bit out of him, and he just eventually pulled it off. So, yeah.
WWE needed Logan Paul and Johnny Knoxville to compete in matches in order to fill the two-night format. Just gonna get that out of the way before we break down all the crazy shenanigans that's about to happen.
So yeah, just repeating what I said before, like, the celebrity stuff did great, and once again, I'm like, you know the Johnny Knoxville match was amazing. Get out of here, man. You know it. Alright, so that's all the stuff I got to say about his videos. It was just an all of good fun. Like, I was poking a little bit like, I don't know about this stuff. Overall, the videos were very well done, and when I watched your other more serious videos, those were fantastic as well, and it's great that you're sharing this stuff with people. So, yeah. Link in the description to his channel. He's a good guy. Keep up the good work, man. Still got the belt. As the wrestler's theme once said, even through the darkest days, this fire burns always. Yup. Thanks for watching, people.